Yeah, it's just weird, like someone swabbing you for explosives, but they're like, you know, quoting your film lines back at you, or they're trying to grab a selfie and they're going for your underwear. It's like, that's pretty surreal.
London-born actor Riz Ahmed has gone from being in British cult classic Four Lions to massive Hollywood projects like Star Wars and The Night Of. Ahead of the release of his new film, The City of Tiny Lights, we're here in Soho to talk to him.
We've all got our stories, your back, our lies, our secrets. I dig them up, or I bury them. I've been traveling a lot, I guess, since last summer, because I had a lot of stuff that kind of came out one after another, starting with Born and then The Night Of and then Star Wars and then touring. And so it's been good to be back home for a bit, actually. I've been here for 2.5 weeks.
Have you been back to your mum in Wembley?
Why are you talking about my mum, man?
Sorry.
Why have to start talking about my mum? No, I'm joking. Yeah, no, I haven't been there, no.
And how did you get into rap was that when you were a kid?
Yeah, and I've always been a hyperactive kid, always been like a bit of a loudmouth, so I just fell in love with it straight away. It's the idea you could just talk that long and people would tell you to shut up. You get clapped for it. I was like, all right, great. So yeah, I got into it from when I was a kid.
Tie to tie, vibe in the vibe. We're militant, you're on a milli vanilli vibe. Stopping refugees is just silly blood. What you know about Aeneas in the Iliad?
Do you think you could do a rap about what we're doing right now?
I mean, I used to freestyle a lot. I'm not that much, I don't do that much, but I mean, it's like you just look at whatever and think, you know, Riz is on the mic, you know, the shit gets hype. I'm walking around Soho with my fishnet tights.
Yes, I like it. That was enough. I'm impressed already.
That's enough, you're easily impressed.
So what excited you about City of Tiny Lights?
I always loved those old classic detective movies, you know, those old kind of private eye noirs where you've got someone trying to solve a case, they're hard drinking, chain smoking. This was an opportunity to kind of step into that mold, but bring it up to date and tell that kind of story right here, right now. You don't often see British films or British television that's about contemporary Britain. They usually make a lot of period dramas. So just on that kind of basis, I thought, this is crazy, you know? There's so much in this story I can relate to, and I've never necessarily seen that experience on screen.
Yeah, and you did that talk, like diversity talk, which was amazing, where you were talking about how like British actors have to go to America because of all the period dramas and stuff.
Right.
Have you had a lot of like reaction to that?
I've had some really encouraging feedback from that. So yeah, I'm grateful to everyone who's reached out and said that they kind of agree with what I'm saying, or they, you know, offer their own thoughts. And you know, I just think it would be cool if we start these conversations.
Prominent successes can mask structural problems. Obama was in the White House and you still needed the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm getting on a plane to LA to attend the Star Wars premiere, and I still get that second search before I board the plane.
I guess what I was trying to say is we need to reframe it so we're not talking about diversity, but we're talking about representation. Because diversity feels a bit like it's an optional extra, you know, it's like a side dish. It's like chips, but it's not the burger. Representation is the meat. You know, representation is what we all expect from our culture, whether it's politics or the stories that are in our culture. We just all expect to feel represented. We want to feel represented and seen and heard and valued.
And it kind of feels like that's happening a bit in American TV now. Like you were just in the OA and you were in Girls, and both of those shows, like it was nothing to do with like race or religion. You were just a character.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've been lucky in recent years that I've had an opportunity to play characters that aren't kind of reduced to their ethnicity. A more important question than how am I finding it, am I getting those roles, is how are we doing just generally as a culture? Because I think you're always going to have exceptions to the rule. And you're always going to have a few people that kind of manage to sneak through and get a shot at these things. But I think what matters more to me is that bigger picture when it comes to this issue.
So obviously you've just done like 2 massive films, Star Wars and the Bourne movie. What has that been like for you, coming like a celebrity?
I don't know if that I feel like that from the inside of my life. My day-to-day life hasn't changed that much. In America, I guess, more people will just stop me in the street, and like sometimes Star Wars fans will turn up at like, music gigs I'm doing for me to sign stuff. But my life is not, I don't feel, it's not that different, I haven't gone out and bought anything, crazy. But maybe I should.
Yeah, I think you should. One big expense, one blowout.
This place, exactly.
Have you had any weird fan encounters?
The weirdest fan encounters that I have are when I'm being searched at the airport. I always get a kind of secondary search, I guess just because, racial profiling. But the thing is Heathrow, and Heathrow Airport is near Hounslow, and so it's just like most of the people who work there are like Asian kids. So they're like quite big fans of mine, a lot of them anyway, some of them who work there. And yeah, it's just weird, like someone's swabbing you for explosives, but they're like, quoting your film lines back at you, or they're trying to grab a selfie and they're going for your underwear. It's like, that's pretty surreal.
That's bizarre.
But yeah, makes it a friendly search or an aggressive fan encounter, depending on how you look at it.
You've got like different accents in pretty much like every project. How do you learn them?
I record people a lot of the time, actually. I'll meet up with someone and I'll record them. I'll interview. I do a lot of interviews. So I kind of enjoy your side of my job, which is kind of the journalism, doing the research, meeting people, reading up articles, talking to them, asking them questions, and I just record them for hours and hours. Basically, I just do what you do.
You've got enough jobs, okay? Two's enough. Don't take mine too. What, have you found an accent that you can't do? One that's just too much?
I'm not sure I can do Scottish. The only thing I've never been asked to do Scottish. If I got asked to do it, then I'd just do my homework and hopefully I could do it. But right now, the only thing I say in a Scottish accent is an old woman's voice say that there's a car parked on the road. So I'd say, there's a car parked on the road. There is a car parked on the road. That's
really
all I've
weird.
got. Yeah, I know, because I heard someone say that once.
And it's just logged in
That's
there.
all I've got, yeah. If you're Scottish, call me so I can record you.